Quit the yapping. Get him out of here. I don't
Jake's
want to
like,
hear this
please
shit anymore.
stop talking about MMOs.
No, I wanted you to talk about it. I wanted you to share your feelings about MMOs.
Okay, here's my feelings about MMOs. Classic sucks. It just blows. Season to Discovery though, Seth just messaged me and said time to level. And I will not be leveling.
Jack's like 6 months late to the season Discovery hype. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, no, I'm at the perfect time. What are you saying? I'm getting boosted to max level. It's the best. Everybody else is max level. I just want
But now you're gonna get there. If you join a top end guild, aren't you just gonna get fucking like you're gonna get there and they're like, okay, now we need to clear this raid in 35 minutes, otherwise you're all cut from the fucking raid team.
I've seen Seth play WoW, bro. His ass is not clearing Molten Core in 35 minutes. Like, we're good. We're good.
I talk about Overwatch. We're moving on, Jack.
No, when Costa has removed our AdSense by saying fuck 2 times
Scott!
already. It's all good. It's all good. Because what? You know why it's all good? Because Manscaped, baby. They're still supporting us despite Costa dropping F-bombs about World of Warcraft.
Let's fucking
5 seconds
go,
into the
Manscaped.
episode. Yeah, I would have figured by now, Costa, you would have known how YouTube works. But anyway, here we are. He's retired. No
And just
worries
get
about it.
demonetized every time.
If you actually want to bring me some AdSense, go check out my interview with him because Jaws is not as good. Anyway, go on
Dude,
to
the
Manscaped.
copyright, the copyright. The deep dive copyright is being infringed.
He's gonna send the lawyers on me. Today, we're here to celebrate the perfect summer grooming companion that will keep you looking cool even when it's sizzling outside. I'm excited to introduce the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in new colorway, White Hot. Do you need this one too, Scott? Do you need the White Hot Manscaped?
Ooh, yeah, actually, that would look good. It would look really good. I was going to say shaving my balls, but I don't think I should
Wait,
say that.
no, that's what it's for, bro. That's what it's
You're literally
for.
supposed to say that, Scott. That's great.
Oh, yeah, never mind. That's great.
Thank you. The only ad read with TRMI is sometimes good for us. All right, Manscaped undoubtedly it shines, and they're riding the White Hot waves with their special edition trimmer in white. There are limited quantities available in this colorway, so you gotta act fast if you want this. Step up your grooming game this summer with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in White Hot experience position like never before with the next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, an updated trimmer blade, and an interchangeable foil blade for peak performance. These updated blades are not just for show. They're designed to keep you looking smooth and sleek under the summer sun. First, the updated trimmer blade features longer, wider, and rounded teeth that cut through hair with ease. And here's where things get interesting. The foil blade, crafted to transcend the boundaries of your typical trim achieved with the trim blade. This foil blade is designed to leave you with a finish that's irresistibly sleek and utterly bare. It glides gently over your skin, capturing even the finest hairs for a flawless look that's ready to impress whether you're hitting the beach or just enjoying the summer sun. Switching between the two blades is a breeze, giving the versatility you need for all your summer grooming needs. It's like having 2 trimmers in once, making sure you're always summer ready without breaking the bank. And as if the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in White Hot isn't bright enough, Manscaped upgraded their infamous LED light. No more fumbling in the dark. Those tricky spots are now brightly illuminated. The new LED light also features a dual temperature function designed to flatter a variety of skin tones. Use code Plat Chat for 20% off plus free shipping. There you go. Thank you, Manscaped. Love you guys.
Plat
You're
Chat,
the best.
everybody.
You are the absolute best.
You can go back to 1x speed now.
The new colorway goes crazy.
Yeah. Oh my lord. There you go.
Crazy.
Yo, Manscaped are goated. Manscaped.
Yeah,
Manscaped
actually
are
goated.
They're the best, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big
The
fan.
marketing is pretty hilarious. You gotta give it to them.
Yeah, they
great.
know the market they're going for.
Yeah, I missed the 2 balls ad. Like a few months ago, we talked about like 2
the
balls and
globes?
something, and they had like a video and everything. Yeah, it was.
Have we got the rocket still? Buy the rocket.
Run it,
Yeah,
run it.
there it is. The rocket. Woo! Everybody comes here for the rocket.
Here we go.
Go, baby.
2 heads is greater than 1, baby.
All right. Well, there was some exciting OWCS Swiss action taking place for Stage 3 this past week. We were going to recap that in a separate episode with Avril, but then Avril overslept because he's in a different time zone, and so it took Monday for the wrong day. And so we scheduled the wrong day, supposedly. So this episode is not to recap OWCS action. Maybe me and Avril will record that episode later on in the day if you're curious what happened in the OWCS Korea. Riji Hong was back. It was great. They lost 2 matches. That was not great. He's pretty washed.
He's
pretty
back.
washed.
He's on top.
Yeah, he's there in a way. He existed. The comments were rude, actually. Some comments were like elderly abuse.
Elderly. Oh my god.
Another one was like, does Riji Hong know that he can jump over the Ramata shield to heal his teammates? Stuff like that. So they were.
Jae Hong is getting rolled in the
Jae Hong
comments.
Bap is getting dragged. That's messed up.
That's
Yeah.
messed up, honestly.
They were pretty rude. Fnatic went 0-3, losing to Poker Face. So it's some brutal matchups. We'll see if we can recap that, me and Avril. But it was pretty interesting. And then Face It service crash for NA Swiss. So there you go. An exciting past weekend. Anyway, we're here to rank the hardest heroes in Overwatch. We've seen this template going around Overwatch Twitter for quite some time. Someone made some clickbait, and then Hydron also made some clickbait. And so we're here to not make clickbait, but to actually do it.
We are
properly.
making clickbait,
it does
baby.
feel like clickbait. What do you mean not clickbait?
This is clickbait.
Well,
This
what do
is
you
the
mean?
definition of
This is
clickbait.
clickbait.
We're just setting the
we are-
record straight. I mean, we got Jake here. This is going to be the most perfect list.
Yeah, ain't no one listening
whatever
to
it
this
is.
episode, buddy.
I'm
listening
actually-
to this guy.
It's good that you say that. No, that I'm right about all my opinions.
bring it up.
Please don't give it to him.
I'm just coming in to int this list just to tilt Jake. I think
Oh,
I think that's my job for this episode.
Let's start.
Okay.
Oh my god, no,
So
please.
there you go. Solomon, I think we should list out in S.
So
I'm
true.
glad
No,
we
not the
talked about this
monkeys.
going into the episode. But like S is hardest. So I don't know if you can add now, but S hardest and then D easiest. There you go. There you go.
Are we gonna say? I guess hardest was easiest is fair enough. Did you guys see the original list that somebody made that kind of spawned this meme format where somebody
No.
put
No.
Winston and Diva in D tier?
Wait,
really?
Like
Oh,
unironic. I'm
no
pretty sure it's
way.
unironic. I'm
It's
pretty sure 'cause-
Hydron quoted it, Solomon. You can
yeah,
find it
because
on
the
Hydron's
rest of the
Twitter.
list kind of is like sort of okay. Like it's not like the whole thing is
Honestly,
an egregious troll.
this patch
it's
was
just
Diva
Winston
and
was
D.
in the lowest skill level. I was like, oh boy, oh
I'm
boy.
loving the patch. Great.
Yeah.
So okay, so are we talking about just like if you want to, if the hardest to like rank up on, or just like where you're always in the same
Hardest to
rank
play.
but the hardest one overall,
Hardest
just hardest to play.
perfect, I guess.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Jake, what's your
I think
opinion?
we
here?
can say like within the level of human play.
This
whatever the
is
Yeah.
hardest.
crazy.
Yeah, the
Like-
Winston Diva on the bottom is like goes.
Doomfist-
That's the thing. Most of the list is like
Doomfist
it's not.
venture in that low is crazy.
That's-
I agree.
yeah.
I mean, there's some problems in the list, but Winston at the bottom is,
Yeah,
is
that's brutal.
egregious. For me, Winston is like a serious contender for S tier.
And
Bro, how is
then,
Juno in this list? It's been like we played them for
We
like
don't even
2
know.
days.
So true, Juno.
Juno is definitely not above Winston.
Yeah.
I don't need to play much Juno to tell you that.
and then this person, to top it off, posted a video from the practice range showing how wide Winston's range is on the primary fire.
That is based.
Crazy, bro.
Well,
That
it's
goes
always
Crazy.
been, did
So,
they
like,
just
you
do
don't
like
have
an
to aim,
aiming
bro.
tier list? Is that
So-
what theirs is? Just an aiming tier list? Of
Yeah,
like,
Patch
how
was
well
pretty
is the
advanced.
aim?
Oh, you know
on
what?
the aim.
That would actually make sense if this was an aiming tier list.
Yeah.
Ignore that, cut it out. This is based
Doom
on
is
skill
still
ceiling.
a hard hero, like to aim.
You just walk at
mechanically and
people, bro.
difficult.
You're just like boom, boom, boom.
We're not giving that out. We're not presenting outs to this person. They successfully clickbaited. They appeared on Plat Chat, and now we're going to set the record
They
straight.
won.
That's so true. Look at that. You don't need to aim. You don't need to aim on Winston.
Now do the primal. I want to see what it looks like when this guy
So
primals.
true.
All right, let's get into this because, well, hopefully it's going to be more exciting than last time Costa banned Ilaria from Jaws or something like that.
Yeah, that
So,
sucks. That was the worst episode of all time.
where do we start? Where do we start?
guy sucks.
Let's
What
just
about
go down
Winston?
Let's
the
just go
list.
from top to bottom. Top to bottom. D
Okay,
back-
just go
Or
back
do
to
you
them.
want to do DPS first or?
I just wanted to throw out heroes, whatever you
Yeah,
guys
let's-
are
I like the idea
passionate
of
about.
generally we do
Bastion.
S to D. But like if we come up on a hero, we're like, oh well, maybe that would have gone in S, but we didn't think of it. Whatever, that's fine. But like I think we should generally.
No.
Okay, let's start
Just go
clickbait.
through this list.
Who's the
Just go through
hardest
this
hero
list.
that you guys think exists in Overwatch?
Tracer.
Has to be Tracer, right?
I
Or
think it's,
Echo.
No.
there's an argument between Genji and Tracer. I think that's like kind of the only things in contention.
Costa said no. He was like,
I don't
flat
think
no.
I don't think Tracer like
He's gonna
obviously
say Sim.
she has like an exceptionally high ceiling, but like I don't know, like maybe I'm just thinking in more of a sense of like I think like heroes like Doomfist and Wrecking Ball are like really hard, or but maybe I'm just thinking of like the floor for them is like
Right.
kind of like hard to
So-
get to.
It's the way I thought about this episode yesterday actually before we came in. I was like, how are we gonna rank? Yeah, I was
I
just
didn't
trying to
know
think
about
like,
this episode
how are we gonna rank heroes? Because do we want it to like we rank in the hero in like, oh, you can get a decent amount of success with the hero, or are we talking about like fucking upper echelons like this guy is like Ball Overwatch playing Wrecking Ball, you know what I mean? Versus like Timmy who just picked up the character. Do we want like a reasonable level of like you're not inting but you're not popping off kind of thing? Because Wrecking Ball probably is up there, and I would kind of agree with Scott if we're talking about the highest levels of Wrecking Ball of all time, you know. But on like a
Wrecking
neutral
Ball
scale,
really hard. Yeah, sure.
like yeah,
to be
on
a good
neutral
Wrecking
scale,
Ball player, you have to be
Tracer.
pretty naughty.
I think I would go back on myself, and I think I would say it is Tracer though, because everything Tracer does has such a high ceiling. Like every little
Yeah,
element, I
every
think when you
element.
pair it all
Farm
together,
is like the ultimate has no, it's like not consistent at all,
Yeah.
right? It's like still an aim skill ultimate,
Yeah.
basically. Other than rare situations where you're comboing it. But I mean, I don't know. I think Genji has like what I always said in my head is like Genji has the like not in reality highest skill level. Like Genji, if you were beyond human, Genji would be the highest skill hero. You
Yeah.
would just reach dash range to a 200 HP target and kill them every time they would reach your dash range.
Yeah, right.
Which is not realistic at all. The best Genji players in the world will still attempt those. Like sometimes they'll dash in and try to one hit people because they're like so confident that they can actually do it, and sometimes they do. So that to me, the Genji dash one hitting you from max range is like that is the highest skill thing in the game because it's so hard to do, and if you do it successfully, theoretically you can just like team kill over and over again. But realistically, in the same tier as Tracer.
Also, we're not. Can we just say now we're not going to do like within S, like this is higher than this? Can we just put
Agree,
it at
agree,
S?
agree.
Yeah, just
I'm
throw
not,
it
I'm
in
not
the
getting
yeah.
micro with this.
That's what
like,
we don't want
fuck
to. The
that.
fight of Tracer versus Genji is just a philosophical fight of how you want to think about
Yeah.
the rankings. It's
I
not
would
meaningful.
also say Echo belongs in this as well as I would say Ball as well, because Ball, holy shit, it's like Ball is one of those heroes you have to be a one trick. If you're
Okay.
not a one trick on Ball, unless you're a pro player, like you're dog shit.
I would actually say I would say Doomfist is harder than Wrecking Ball, in my opinion. I think the techs of Doomfist are more impactful, and I think the ceiling is higher for Doomfist.
Wrecking Ball is weird because a lot of it isn't that hard. A lot of it is like knowledge. It's like if you know where to grapple,
Yeah,
that is the tech. The tech is like, oh, when I want to like roll to this spot and slam it, I'm grappling. I'm starting here and I'm grappling there. And you need to know like a million combinations of start here, grapple there. Doom has a lot of like frame perfect techs, or like I mean, I guess there's a similar level of knowledge like diag punching and things like that are you get high ground without using slam, or like doing your rollout over and over and over again. Every time you die, doing a perfect rollout, like no mistakes.
The perfect rollout's crazy.
Here's a question for you.
I'm
You
not a
queue
believer in
in-
Ball S tier though. I think it's just Ball's a super weird, unique hero. But if you evaluate him, I'm like imagine you one trick Tracer versus you one trick Ball. I still think Ball's an easier hero. Like it's
I
just
agree.
a weird hero. It's like not
Yeah.
like the other heroes,
Sure.
so it makes it quote unquote more difficult. But I don't think if you treat, I think the way you like think about this is like if you were one tricking every character here, we don't give Ball an advantage because it's the weirdest hero in the game. It's like equal. Every hero is being one tricked for me in my head in this tier list. Does that make sense?
So
Yeah,
let me
like-
ask this question then. You queue into a top 500 game, your tank insta-locks, Wrecking Ball or Doomfist. Which
Who
one
is
do you
the
have
Ball or
more
Doomfist
confidence
player?
in? Which one do you think will like, okay, I can see them execute better?
That is
and which
that
one
is
are
on
you like,
the player. You have to see the player's name to know if
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
use
You
it.
can't.
Like,
You can't. It's a Smurf. It's
and
a
the
Smurf.
meta, and the
They're
meta.
called
Like
players.
sometimes Doom's good, sometimes Doom sucks ass, right? Like sometimes it is just like a throw to play these.
You don't
certain
have a
characters.
hero stereotype? Come on, we're talking about stereotypes here.
No, those are literally the same stereotype. Doom and Ball is just like I hope this guy's really good at the game, or else. we
Yeah,
lose.
otherwise we
otherwise
lose.
it is. Yeah.
But and if they are really good, and then I think crucially also these heroes need the right team comp. But I don't know. In my opinion, Ball is A tier, not S tier.
I agree. I
I
would
don't
say
think the skill level is
Sure.
quite as high on Ball because it's a lot of like you need to know how to. But like if I watch, I can't do what Jumpman does on Ball. But like the rolls of like I can roll to this spot. If I like watch a video, I can actually do that the next day. I can just execute that. But if I watch a Tracer player play, it's like there's a couple of blink jumps you could learn, but realistically, it's just a huge grind to like be that good at.
Well, okay. Counterpoint. I feel like I can easier get reasonable value from Doomfist over Wrecking Ball.
Oh, I
Like, if I
disagree.
want the
I
reasonable
completely
value from
disagree.
from Wrecking Ball,
Nah.
I have to be good.
You have to
Doomfist,
actually
I'm
like set
I'm
up with
blocking
Doom.
some damage. I'm
No,
seismic
you are
slamming.
not.
No, no, honestly,
bro.
it is
When was
true.
the last
It's
time
fine.
you played Doomfist? Ain't no way. You fucking.
This
I
guy
jump
does
in.
not Doom.
I go to block. They don't shoot me, and then they kill me. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, that was
exactly.
really
It
fucking
sucks.
stupid. But Wrecking Ball,
Yeah.
I'm like, yippee,
yeah.
slam,
Tank
and
player.
then I
I'm
get
used
some
to getting
value.
shot at. I know when to block.
Yeah, but
No,
like,
Johnny, you're just playing in low elo where everyone shoots the block every single time. I've seen it. I've played in this elo too.
How dare you?
Dude, I swear to God,
Ball
Doomfist
is
in like
so-
below. If like
Yeah,
I was
so much
playing on a
easier.
new account playing tank, and it's like high rank, like high enough, like GM5 or whatever. and it is unreal. Like at like a little bit lower elo, even like when I was like halfway through Masters, it was like they give me the power punch every single time I block. I just
It's the
like
best
jump
feeling.
out in the open in the choke, and they shoot my power block.
Being bad is
So-
awesome.
It's weird because
That is awesome.
against really good players, Doom obviously is super hard, but then against weaker players who like or like
Ball
someone
is
who's on
easier to
Junkrat
execute than
inexplicably, you get power punch every fight. It's like great, but
All right. Send Doom up there then.
Yeah, but
I
Ball is
think
way
I
easier.
think Doom's in S tier because I think he also like if you're not good at Doomfist as well, I think you just feed like you're so fucking useless.
You do,
Like,
Count
yeah,
us to that too.
Trust
Yep.
me, I do that all the time. Every
I
time
think the
play
thing with
Doomfist.
Doom is like in order for this hero to be good, you need to hit big headshots with your left click
Yeah.
on people. Like if you're relying on only power punch, I mean, sometimes you get the power punch, but if you assume like equal skill, like you're reaching the high skill level, people are not really going to give you power punch easily. It's like you have to be tricky to get it. And the ult is like not consistent. The only thing that's consistent, quote unquote consistent, is if you have like insane aim and you just fly in and double headshot somebody and blow them up from full HP. It's like, holy, what the hell just happened? You know, it's like the Genji thing. Like that's like what you need to do on Doom is hit big headshots on squishies who are trying to dodge you. And you don't have like, I mean, sometimes you punch them, but usually you need to just hit it while they're strafing and just kill them because you can get on top of them with your skills, but your skills aren't killing them.
This is why Jake is here. That's why Jake is here. All right.
Okay, let's do Hog next.
Hog.
Wait. I
Let's
think we
do
should
Hog
keep
next.
going with trying to get the top heroes. Like, let's look at what
Okay,
else.
here we go.
I think Lucio is.
I
S
think
tier,
it's Lucio.
personally.
Yeah, I think he has like
Lucio is up there.
I think he has like endless value that can always be squeezed out. Like no one's ever perfected Lucio. People get really good at him, but if you hit more shots, your wall riding's a little bit
gun
cleaner. You do
is
everything a little
fast.
bit better.
Lucio,
It's the weirdest gun
unironically,
in
is
the
like the hardest support to aim on.
Yeah.
It's also very
Easily.
unique to aim on because of the way like the movement works with wall riding. But you look at the players who are like really good at the movement and the aim and the decision making. Like you like look at Funny Ass or something. I mean, when Funny Ass started playing Lucio, it was like he just like started 2x gapping every other Lucio in damage. People
Yeah.
were like, wait, all our Lucio players who aren't dealing damage are like, what the fuck are you guys doing? like realize if you have like a good aimer on Lucio, this hero actually owns. Like you know, you can make kills. People obviously take it too far and they go like Reddit Lucio and int in and die. But if you're a good Lucio player and you wait for those like, you know, that opportunity comes a few times in the game where you actually is good. The enemy has no skills. It's actually makes sense to run it on them, not just do it for no reason or, you know, without teammates. Then the hero is so insane potential. You know, you actually can full combo people like from full HP, which is insane.
Yeah.
Also very unrealistic, kind of like the Genji thing, but the potential is there. The skill is there.
Lucio's fucked.
I don't think there's
Okay.
anyone else in S tier.
There is no one else in S tier.
I'm trying to think. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's an argument for Winston and S tier because I think Primal is the single hardest thing in Overwatch, like bar none. Like a real, like the true potential of Primal is the hardest thing to do in the whole game. Like, I think I feel like that's actually very straight up true. Like that, the Primal Rage is the hardest thing to use in the entire game.
I think the
properly.
thing is that the fact he doesn't have to aim really, I think pulls him down to A tier, right? Like, yes, the mechanics, the understanding, and the knowledge is what makes Winston difficult. Person who tweeted earlier, like the way you play the hero is very difficult. But overall, the fact that you don't have to aim, I think just pulls him down a tier because I think that just takes a huge part of.
Yeah, I mean,
an
you
FPS
still
game
aim
out.
now with the right click though. Like when I'm playing a lot of Winston, and I found that like it is super important in a lot of matchups where, especially when my team is like a shit comp, that I am like perfect, never missing right clicks on like the Mercy or the Echo or whatever, and I'm just like constantly plinking. I never miss. I'm jumping around. I'm still never missing on this right click over and over and over again, and then eventually that turns into a kill opportunity because they're not healing each other well enough. But like. So I don't know. For me, like maybe with the right click, I think Primal is like too unreal, like too unreal compared to. I played every hero in the game. Primal is the thing that like I don't know. Like I'm finally getting better at Primal. I'm finally hitting like juggles and killing people, but I'm realizing how hard it is to do it over and over again consistently every time to like solo kill juggle people with Primal. I don't know.
Primal was
Maybe
not
it is A
built.
tier because you don't aim the left click.
Primal was not
which is
built
a
for
lot
what
of the-
we
It
do
was
with
not
now.
designed to do what it does
Yeah,
now.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
They were
but
not
now,
thinking it
now
was
we
going to do
know
what it
it's
does.
like,
oh, you can
it's like bunny hopping or
disrupt
something.
people and bash
It's like
them
wave
around.
dashing in Smash, right?
Exactly,
like they're like,
exactly.
this was an accident, but it's cool.
It's like they thought, hey, just jump in there and bounce people around, and then so you realize, what if I fucking perfect control you while I'm bouncing you,
Yeah.
and I take you home, I pick you up and abduct you and bring you to my people, like I don't know, I do think that is so crazy. I also think Winston is like so easy to feed on as well. Actually,
I
like
agree.
if you're against remotely confident players who just full tunnel you, if you cannot just jump in, it does not work.
Or get outplayed. I mean, you do a bad lead, bad shield, and you get outplayed, and your team loses position pretty easily. You gotta be smart.
Yeah, there's a lot of like tactical jumping on Winston. A lot of like jump to the side, jump to the car. Like jumps that take control of the map but don't risk your life, and then you're ready when the actual dive comes in.
I'm
I
loving
mean,
it.
the only reason he's not S is because the left click is like so easy to aim.
Yeah.
But like, I think the thing that is really hard to aim is the jump. Like having perfect jumps is what makes like the left click isn't. Of course, you're left clicking, but actually staying on Jaws and full to zero zapping him through his heal lamp requires a perfect leap.
Dude, shut the fuck up. You see that primal at the end of the game, by the way? I was typing. I was literally
Jack's like, I'm
typing
gonna play
DPS
Jake,
primal.
don't leave, and I
wait,
left.
wait. Don't leave, Scott, please. I'm trying to type. I fuck up the spelling. Scott,
I was clearing you guys so hard.
DPS
I'm not gonna lie, I
primal.
was so hard
Your
clearing you
primals
guys.
were
My
dog
teammates
shit.
were lost.
No,
but I
who
was-
won the game? Who won the
I was
game?
hard clearing you guys.
Cleared, baby.
DPS primal at the very end.
Not
mate.
the two of you guys on support can't deal with the JQ. I'm just getting walked on.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
JQ.
You guys got
yeah,
walked
yeah.
on.
All right.
Fucking JQ,
what
bro.
what else is in A tier? Because I'm kind of actually struggling to think
Oh,
of.
Widow,
I think
Widow,
some of the
for
aim
sure.
heroes, some of the aim heroes like Widow and Soj is got to be up there because Widow is like you either you clap, maybe you get one or two here and there, or you just don't hit shit, and you're solely reliant on your aim on the character because you're apart from your grapple, which against like decent players they're gonna force that shit, but like you're just gonna get feasted.
I mean, Widow's just a hero that is like you hit headshots or you're useless. Like that's like
Yes.
the reality of
Yeah.
the hero. So and because it has a different crit scaler than other heroes, like everyone wants to headshot, right? But
Yeah.
Widow is like you must headshot or else you're not.
Otherwise
Leo,
you are
know?
useless. Yeah.
Like
Widow,
so-
I think Widow and Soj, like characters, especially Sojourn now, bro. Sojourn sucks, but like,
I mean, Soja's
especially
just super
Sojourn
weak right now, but I think it
Yeah.
is fair to put her in a pretty.
She's
high
very
tier.
difficult to play.
You-
Like
yeah,
at
you
the
need-
highest
You
level.
need like
right?
you need like
Yeah.
different aim skill. You need like
Yeah.
projectile lead tracking with the plasma.
Yep, and then you
It's
need
not
hit
plasma,
scan
but that's
aim
what it would
too.
be in Quake. And then the rail is hard. I mean, everything about the character is relatively hard. Even using the
Yeah.
movement properly is reasonably hard.
I think
Not
as
as.
well Zen might be there too because that character is so fucked. for
I think I disagree with
mobility.
that. I actually I
Really?
even disagree with the Widow. I actually think Widow's B tier because I think she's hard, right? This thing, but it's like it's kind of the opposite of Winston. Is like I think the rest of the stuff around her isn't that difficult. Like obviously movement and being in the right spot and the peaks and that kind of stuff is important, but like the most important and almost the only thing that's important when you're playing Widowmaker is your aim, right? So I
Right.
think like I don't know if I can do that with like other heroes that are like so mobility intensive.
Yeah, I mean, and Widow, the grapple is incredibly powerful. Like you can have bad positioning on Widow and get out.
Yeah,
as long as
yeah,
you can
obviously,
grapple
right.
away. So like, in a way, it's not that hard. But I just think so headshot heavy. Like
I
it's
just
so
think raw aim
critical,
skill,
and
how-
also you have low HP. You do get
Yeah.
like hard popped if you're not. Like I
With
mean,
how
like
quick
there are
the
free
game
Widow
is now-
games, right? But if we assume it's
Yeah.
not a completely free Widow game, I think
Yeah.
this hero is actually very.
Everything's super quick now. Everybody plays Lucio. Like, you
And also the
need-
supports, like so many support
good
like
aim.
Kiri and Moira can like
Yeah, they
roll
can
up
fuck
on
you up.
you.
Yeah, I think, or just on raw aim skill, I think Widow deserves to be an A. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like we
happy
have
to
a
see.
lot of heroes that require difficult aiming, though.
No,
I
but
realize
Widow is
that
like
Widow is like a special,
like,
unique
Widow's like
case.
Cassidy
because
is
it's so
also
reliant,
hard
but-
to aim in certain positions, but it's a lot less intensive than Widow. I'm like,
yeah,
Like I
Like
think
the damage
Sojourn
output.
is more intense because like your movement.
because you're tracking the whole time and you're in the fight more.
yeah.
But also
Sojourn
like,
deserves A as well.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Projectile
also
and
think
hit
Zen
scan,
Ana are
move,
both in A
mobility.
tier.
Yeah, 100%. Zen
I think
is,
Zen Ana just having no mobility, having so
No
much power on
mobility.
your kit, but no mobility, and I mean not really survivability. Like Zen has
Yeah.
kick and Ana can nade or sleep herself, but or nade herself or sleep, someone to save her. But no mobility super high priority kill target backliners, I think are relatively hard.
Yeah, I'd put Zen. I'm happy to put Zen and Ana. Like, I think
Zen
you
is
can make an
also, like,
argument
kill
that
or
Zen
be killed. Like he is
is-
also a super aim hero. Like if you don't hit headshots, you will die.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Zen could be B just because it's like, but I think if we're talking about the highest skill, I actually think he should be an A because like I think it gets very spicy the higher
You just get
go.
feasted.
Yeah,
That character is just so useless on its own. Like you
Yeah.
require your other support like to be super vigilant as well.
I think Diva also A tier. Actually,
right now,
We
No.
have a
Diva's just
lot of
over
heroes
OP.
up
right
there
now,
She's
that
OP.
shit is-
That's fine.
she's
But like
OP as
just the
fuck.
fundamental. I feel like this is like an evergreen list. You know, like it's not because of heroes. Because
Oh,
obviously
I
heroes.
don't know about that.
I think she's B. I don't think you can
Yeah.
put her in A. Like I agree
There's
she's
no
hard and there's a
way.
lot because like there's so
maybe
much
B
you
is
have to
okay.
track
Yeah, maybe
and
B is
do.
okay. Yeah,
There's-
Diva's just you could do anything on the map at any time.
Yeah.
So making the right decision, like on Winston, there are like way less things that you could reasonably be doing. On Diva, there's like the most things you could be doing of any hero in the game in terms of
Yeah.
like you could do anything. You could try to get kills. You could push the car. You could help your team rotate. You could try and just matrix damage. You could matrix the enemy. You could matrix your ally. What's the priority? Like you know, like it's so complex in that way. So it's very instinctual. I think that makes it hard to play. But I think maybe B is fair because the mechanics aren't that hard in the end. It's like just tracking and.
Yeah.
Matrix.
Positional.
You're always going to be up and.
I do think positionally she's super hard. Maybe there's not like a primal aspect to the character that's
Yeah.
like the super high ceiling, but
positioning with
positionally,
Diva is
Diva's-
like her thrusters are on such low cooldowns. Like
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
gonna get
but
nearly as punished as-
if you're like a thrusting to get to the place you were supposed to be, you're like bad at Diva basically. Like if you need to be where you're supposed to be, and then you have the thrusters to go kill somebody when the chance comes. Versus, oh, I'm gonna die, so I'm gonna boost out. Okay, you're not good at Diva if that's what's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
usually.
I would
Okay.
have thought Kiriko would come in here somewhere.
I think Kiriko's probably in B.
I think
Maybe
B.
in C, honestly.
I
Kiriko's
think
pretty
people
easy.
overestimate how difficult she is to play. I don't think she's that hard. Like I like there's definitely a lot of nuance to her and there's a lot of skill expression, but like compared to all these other heroes, like she doesn't have like people are like, oh, her mobility. She doesn't have a mobility. She fucking points at someone and like
Just
presses shift or
TPs.
wall
Yeah.
climbs, right? Like
Yeah.
they like yes, positioning is important, hitting the kunais are important, but the heal isn't that difficult to hit. Like I think there's a lot of value to be gained, but I don't think she's exceptionally
For
difficult.
the amount of input you're putting into the hero, the amount of output you're getting with the Kiriko. doesn't
Ultimate is really easy.
People don't realize how good it is to heal bot on this character.
Yeah.
Like heal bot and throw your dagger between every heal and be like, oh, I got a headshot. Nice. That is unironically such a strong playstyle. That is like the strongest playstyle. Like if you watch pro players play this hero, they don't really like go on a mission killing people unless the fight is lost. They like 100% heal the whole game and farm the ult because it's so strong. And then when the ult's on, okay, or you can get a little, or like you drop a beat, you can get a little tricky and go make a solo kill or something, right? But 90% of the game, you should be heal botting on this character, and so it's hard to give it
He's
a
B.
super high placement.
Yeah, I think B.
But in the
Kiriko.
end, you know, you need the headshot with the kunai. So
Kiriko.
that is a pretty. You got to think for the average player, that's like a pretty big skill burden. Where I think headshotting
Okay.
goes down drastically as you go down the ranks.
I want to throw a curveball in here. I
Okay.
actually think Junk is a hard hero to play. Like,
All right, that's
I,
cap. That's cap.
like
That is
I think
bullshit.
at the highest level, I think Junk, there's so much like
Just
the aim.
spam.
Like to be a great Junk player, you actually need to have great awareness and like aim. And I think the combos are like super important. Like, I don't know. I just think like I've seen what great Junk players can do, and I'm like, man, that shit's a lot harder than they make it look to do.
I would put
consistently.
it in C and not D, but I don't think B is just.
You don't
Bro,
think B?
you
Okay.
just spam.
No, you
in the
don't,
end,
Jack. That's
are
what you do
you
when
are
you
just
play Junk,
demo
bro.
man. You just throw pipes and maybe they land, and then you throw
You do like
concussion
some
mine,
tricky
maybe
one-shot
they land.
combos, and there's like some trickiness with like trap placement and baiting, but like
Yeah, nice. This
spamming
hero's
really
rough.
well is like if you watch like somebody's not good at Junkrat, they don't know how to spam, and their spam is like so garbage and so easy for the enemy team to play against. So there's a big skill in like how
Spam out
well
of
you
corner.
spam and like how effective you are, and also like you know the sort of like mid-range 1v1. If you hit the pipe, or you actually win and save yourself, which is a big deal, which I think is pretty skillful. But in the end, it's Junkrat, guys.
I
It's
tried. I
fucking
tried to
Junk.
int the list,
No, it
and I
is-
got instantly
you-
shut
You
down.
know,
There we go.
I like
know.
you inted him out of D. Honestly, I think he would have gone to D without your impassioned defense.
I got you,
but
Junk
think,
players.
I think
Shut up.
you know
What
the
are you saying? Who are
crazy
you
air
talking
shot
to?
stuff you can do. For me, I see. I know what you mean. If you like conk people into the air and air shot them, that's like the super high skill thing on the character. But Not
All
a
right.
super
What about
realistic part of the game.
Baptiste?
Bap.
I
Ooh,
think Bap's
low-key,
actually pretty easy. Genuinely.
I disagree because we're saying top end, right? The true potential of this character, you got to understand, is hitting a direct heal and then hitting 2 full bursts of headshots on the enemy team over and over
The
and
gun is
over
hard,
and
yeah.
over again forever, because the game never
Forever.
ends with Bap. Like I think Bap is actually hard because you never stop shooting and aiming. Like you always, I mean, if you're lucky, there's a shield to shoot, so you can like brain dead left click the shield and then focus on healing. But like if you're in like a game where you're actually fighting players and you keep min-maxing, you keep hitting not only directs on the heal, because the heal does more heal direct on your tank or whoever you're trying to save, and instead of splashing the ground, or maybe you should splash the ground so you can splash like 3 allies, maybe that's better. But continuing to left click while you're healing, like properly left click, like actually hit shots on people without, you have to like split your focus while you're playing. I think this hero is actually quite hard to hit the max potential on.
I agree. As a tank player, I think there is so much like technicality to this hero. Like you have to be really mechanically skilled with both your heal, your shots, amplification, matrix placement, positioning, immortality field. Like I think there is so much to this hero. I find this hero like super complicated when I play myself. There's just so much to it. So I think it's a really difficult hero.
I think, Jack, the problem that you're having is you're not thinking about the hardest to get the max potential. Like if you are doing
max potential,
everything
sure,
perfectly,
yeah.
Baptiste is
To get a
incredibly
neutral
difficult
potential,
to play.
I think that is the hit
I
character.
mean, you could just heal bot, but like you could also just heal bot on Kiri. I think Bap is a way bigger loss if you're a heal bot
Yeah.
compared to Kiri.
Yeah, oh sure.
Kiri
The
heal
difference
botting is
between a
like
great
probably
BAP and a
close to
perfect BAP is
optimal.
crazy.
But that's what I mean. Like you look at watch Shu play Bap, you're like, what the hell? Like you can't, like he like owns the DPS in a 1v1, you know, like over and over again while he's healing people. Like he doesn't run away. He wins the fight. You know, the fact that you can fight flankers, but also kind of like Zen, you really don't have much other than actually damaging them to get them to leave you alone. Like you don't have like a hard escape other than if you have like a high ground to jump. And I think that the exo boots are actually pretty high skill, like positioning, allow you to be anywhere on the map at any time. So you could be anywhere, you know, in general. And so where do you actually choose to go?
Maybe
Droning, I think droning is like way higher skill than people realize. Like
I
it's
agree.
such a big deal. If you drone when your guys at like, you know, your tank's at like 250 health, it is a garbage drone. But if you drone when he's at 1, you like win the game. If your timing is literally perfect about the incoming damage, and you drone in a position where the drone itself is really hard to break, but it's just far enough to get to the guy you're trying to save. I don't know. I think this hero actually has so much depth to it.
I think this is A.
I think I would put Bap in A as well.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
the thing about
If
like
we're
it's the
talking
same
about
as
top end potential,
it's the same as Ana. Like yes, it's easily accessible and you can play it and it's easy, but what you can do if you hit every skill shot, you make every shot count, you do all that kind of stuff. The value just like is insane, and that's why every player like in ranked plays BAP. If you just want to win the game and you think you're better than everyone else, you just play BAP and you just win the game on your own
just do
because
numbers.
you can.
This is like the besides like Moira, which like do numbers but don't actually have impact. BAP is the do numbers and win the game.
Yeah.
If we're talking about top end potential.
Yeah,
You just sound so disappointed.
Well, I mean, like if we're
Fine.
talking about like, oh well, you just get value on the character. Like I don't think BAP deserves to be that high, but
All
top
right.
end potential, the most sophisticated character.
There's a reason BAP has been played in pro play since
Yeah.
in the
It's
last like
released.
3 or 4
Yeah,
years
it's-
because he's just so
The
much better
potential
than
for
He does
top end
everything.
players is so high.
Yeah.
Where do you
Right.
want to go next?
Let's go the other supports. Do Brig.
I think Brig
is at least B, if not A.
I agree.
if
I
we're
think
talking
she's
about top end
sneaky
potential,
hard.
Against, I mean, that's the thing. The funny thing about Brig is like Brig is one of the best characters in the game, but it is unironically hard to play. Like like people meme on Brig and when it was super overtuned, like Diva right now. Okay, Diva's super overtuned, but in general, Brig is actually a very complex hero.
Hitting constant flails on and like not being able to heal without packs. Like
You just need to know. You need to have like a great read because people on Brig, like I watch my rank players on Brig and they like never fight, never go in, and they only rally to save their honor. They're just bots, you know. But like a really good Brig player will like go kill the enemy team when there's a chance to do it. And like the fact that you can do that, it's kind of like Lucio in a way. Like you're like a powerful main support keeping people alive, but you can get really aggressive at the right moment and with your tank and like run them over. I mean, I don't think I in like rank, bro, people just don't do that. They're like too, I mean, it's too hard to do maybe, or like their coordination isn't there, but
too easy to die, I think, on your own, because like you're
it
gonna
is.
like, if you're trying to push those boundaries, it's so easy to end up, because like as you said, Jake, like it feels like people just think Brig is a noob hero because of what she was in 2018. Yes, she was indestructible. She had like a 600 shield or some shit, right? Like it was like, she was crazy, but she's
was even
actually she's actually quite weak right now, and it's very hard to play aggressive, get that value, and then not get punished as well. So it's like a constant balance. I agree that, like, I think B tier, because I think she falls into the same issue of Winston, that there's not that much aim requirement outside of the whip, right? Which is another very important skill for this hero, that, like, if you're not hitting whips, you're kind of useless, right? Like, you need to be hitting whips.
The hardest thing to do aim-wise in the hero is blocking pulse bomb with your shield,
yeah,
or
true.
blocking nade. Or blocking key cooldowns on the shield is the hard aim skill thing. I mean, and whip shots are also, I think, pretty high skill when you're fighting like high mobility characters, or booping the Winston jump is like super, super important. You have a small window to do that. But yeah, aim with the shield is like to block critical cooldowns, like pulse bomb, like not wasting your shield, keeping shield alive so that you can block the pulse bomb. I mean, those things are big, but I don't know. I mean, that's like every game there's going to be a tracer in pro play. So I'm just like talking as if that's if there's no tracer, then I guess that takes away a lot of the aim skill on Brig.
I would put her in B.
Yeah, I think B is fair. B is
That's reasonable. Yeah.
I think a lot of newbies would put her low, kind of like Winston would put her low, but I think at least B is fair.
If you don't play Brig well in top ranked, like, you're just gonna feed, and
Right,
you're not gonna
just
get
die.
value.
Is this controversial take? I would put May in at least B tier. At least B tier. I mean, maybe A is a little bit much, but I think May is, while easy to play simply with like the self save and stuff, I think like the fact that your wall controls the tempo of the game so much, and you have this like high aim skill headshot mechanic.
I also think her ult is surprisingly hard to use effectively as well. I think it's
Yeah.
very easy to toss that shit in the
easy
bin.
to get it eaten, or a speed boost. There's so many skills that save people from it.
It feels weird to put May and B though. Like I would say the one thing that like I think is that differentiates people in May that is underrated is just the right click value as well.
Like, and then wall. Like people don't know people use the wall wrong, and it's like so bad. But wall is crazy. I mean, you could do 10 million things with wall. Like, should you boost to the high ground? Should you try and catch somebody? Should you save it to defend your teammates? Like, there's so many plays you can make with the wall that it gives it kind of that diva effect of like, oh, this hero could do so many different things. Obviously, if you're like 5 stacked with your Ram, Lucio, Moira, and you're like turbo running it down on people, it's not that hard to wall. But in general, across the scope of the hero, I think wall makes the hero super deep, and then in the end, the right click headshot is like a critical aiming mechanic.
Because you also just
have
get
to hit
fucking
headshots.
owned by anything that's slightly long range, unless you're hitting right clicks.
That's the thing. It's like if you aren't able to hit headshots at medium range on May, you're probably bad at May, because then the hit scan are running the table on you at long range, and you're only your wall and left click. That's not good. But if you're able to fight back against a hit scan, I think this hero like actually becomes so powerful.
I kind of wish it was in between C and B. I
There's
agree.
between tiers. There's no between tiers.
There's no between.
I see what you're saying. But I'm making the case for May and B tier.
Let's jump in easiest.
Let's put her in B,
May and
and
C.
we'll push her down if we feel like, you know, things get a little spicy. Because I actually don't know how many more heroes I want to put in B tier here. Like, there's a bunch, but like
I think we need one more tier almost.
Maybe. Let's
see.
cross that bridge when we get there. We haven't even used D tier yet.
Let's hold off.
So May and C or B for now?
Let's put her in B for now.
For now.
Backbone's gonna be up with this.
All right. What about? I mean, honestly, I feel like B tier should also have, like, realistically, should also just have like all of the hit scan heroes. Like,
I agree.
In the end, it's like if you can't aim, you're not doing anything on these heroes. You have to hit headshots.
Soldier,
or
Cass, Ash,
and then Hanzo probably too. I think.
I would put Soldier below where we're putting all the other hit scans, because I think he's I think there is like obviously some great nuance on like the way you flank and the way you play, but at the end of the day, my man just be running, shooting, and then just like getting value and then running away and healing himself, right?
Go flank and clear off angle.
I don't think he's as difficult, and his shots are as impactful as Ash and Cassidy and stuff like that.
I could see that.
So what? Like you put
Soldier
in
in C.
I'd put Cass Ash in B, and I put Soldier in C.
What about Hanzo?
I think Hanzo's in B. I think he's sneaky difficult with aim.
Just with the neutral left click, it's like not easy to hit. Like even though the arrows are pretty fast, like it's hard.
Solomon's
And
top
now
rank.
you have to hit multiple shots to kill usually.
Oh, Solomon's
So-
here. Solomon's here.
Solomon.
Ash,
yeah.
Cassidy, in
Hanzo,
B.
and Ash in B tier.
Yeah,
It's
Cass,
Cass in B.
Hanzo, Ash. Yeah, Ash and Hanzo. Cassidy, sorry.
Bomb. And
And
Soldier
then
in
Soldier
C.
in C.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do we put Farah in this
I was
list?
gonna
I was
say,
thinking about, I was eyeing up
think,
Farah.
Because I think
Farah,
she's difficult because of the
spam.
rocket and the movement and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, she's just shooting in your general
She
direction.
just shoots, bro.
Yeah,
But
I
there's
mean,
so much ceiling.
I feel like this hero is harder now, like a lot harder than it used to be after the rework, because there's actually so much more top end potential.
Yeah.
So I feel like for
God, I
me,
hate Farah.
the hero has gotten harder because you play like a faster dive style realistically. Like, okay,
Yeah.
if you just sit in the back and brain dead spam, it's like kind of okay. But in a lot of comps, what you're supposed to do is like hard dive on top of the enemy, hit scan, and like two-shot them before they can kill you, which I think is actually kind of hard, but maybe not that hard.
You're right. She's C. Yeah, she just spams.
No,
She just spams.
actually, I actually think what Jake was saying. I actually think she's B. I think she used to be C, but because of the change, she's now B.
Old Farah was very.
It was
simple.
like, do you know how to stay in the air forever? Congratulations, you're doing it, right?
Yeah,
well, that's
just
not true
spam them.
anymore.
Now it's like,
Yeah,
you need
alright.
to like use your CDs properly and go dive and kill them fast. You can't just skybox spam for the whole game. So
Yeah.
I think like, and the fact that you really do have the potential to like do crazy jukes now.
Also, the idea that you can play Pharaoh without a mercy, right? Like play the skill
which-
ceiling, or like the
Farah
skill of
mercy's
being
so
able to
bad.
play Pharaoh without a mercy is a lot harder, and like being able to know your window. So I think she's definitely in B. Actually, the more I
And
think
then,
about it.
we should put Alari probably in B. 'Cause
I
in
think
the end,
Alari,
it's
just she's an aim
another
hero.
B.
Yeah.
aim skill or you're
Aim
bad.
skill.
I mean, if you have good aim skill, you do the most, but without aim skill.
Jake, sorry, just a sidebar. Jaws, how are you liking Ilori right now? Been seeing some more play.
I just play it. It's,
Dude,
I think
Alari
it's
is
fine.
so strong.
Very
Alari
Yeah,
is like
as
so
long as you hit
strong.
the fucking ults. It's hard at the moment to like actually land a fucking ult because the diva has infinite matrix and won't die.
Violet can agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He
mean,
threw
you don't even need
three.
the ult.
He threw 3 ults into the wall on Surabasa.
yeah,
so he
it's
knows.
fucking like it's strong when it lands, but that shit is hard to use right now because of Sig and because of mainly Diva because it's just fucked. And then Kiriko. There's a lot to think about when you play that fucking character. But
I would like it to go faster, but be smaller. I think that's what I would like to
Yes.
see for that. I think
Holy
that
shit,
that would
please.
make it so much better because like its radius is really big, but it's just so slow that, as
Too
Jack
easy.
said,
There's
it's just
certain hard counter heroes that
Yeah.
destroy you, and then
I
other
have had it
times,
before
it's not good.
where like a diva has looked away from me. I have fired it in an opposite direction, and it's like it's not even a fury like 180E. She like looks left slightly, and then it's like boop, it's gone. It just like it's just so so big.
I was
It's
playing a rank
bullshit,
game
bro.
on Genji, and I went up against Super, and I hit the perfect read dash in front of him to deflect right in his face. Like just when
shit.
he's
Okay,
swinging the
that's
corner in
fucked
the
up.
air, I'm like
personal.
behind him, dash to deflect him.
God, yeah, that shit. It's too fucking large, bro.
But yeah, in the end, just a simple hit scan aim hero,
Aim hero.
Yeah.
decent skill.
Okay, we haven't talked about Sombra yet, which is also kind of it's kind
Yeah,
of
I don't know about
kind of-
Sombra because it
Low-key,
requires
Sombra.
such a different play style than like every other character. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe C, but then the way you interact with a fight is just so different because you're not just like frontlining and shooting. Like a lot of the time you are off angling and being able to like translocate away.
Again,
and,
if you're a
like,
bad
knowing your
Sombra, it's very
boundaries.
noticeable.
Yeah,
Compared to, like,
you-
the
I
good
still feel like
ones.
this hero in the end is C because like in the end you're perma stealth. Like you don't. It's not that hard to like get to the place you want to be.
Bro's literally invisible, just like running around.
Like, it really like you have some of the most ridiculous mobility in the game. Honestly, I think the new TP at first it was like, oh, I mean, it is way weaker, right? Because the before when you were like, I can never be killed, like that was really strong. You know, I'm just back to the health pack over and over and over again. But now it's like, okay, the TP out is actually still so strong. If you're like thinking about it, you're gonna live. And
It's
then,
on a surprisingly low cooldown too. Like
Yeah,
you can
and you just
use
farm
that
EMP
shit on your
and
as you're
then-
running away. It's coming off cooldown. You shoot it again, and like good fucking luck. If they
so
can't
if you
catch on
juke
that
around
first
a
one-
corner, you'll be fine on Sombra.
yeah, it's. But I
Plus,
still think
I think this hero still C because it's just not. It's in the end, it's like farm your EMP and then go win the
it's
game.
not
with
as aim
EMP.
intensive either because you are up close and it's just a spray 60 fucking rounds in a mag. Like you ain't missing.
Yeah,
How
or you're
about we
hacking
put her in
people so they
D
don't
just to
skill.
send a message to the Sombra players?
Yeah, fuck Sombra players.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
just,
put 'em
I'm
in
just
D.
saying,
That
you
is
know,
compelling.
sometimes it's
That
about
is
sending a
compelling.
message, and I'm kind of here for it. I agree that she's in C, but you know,
Yep.
Heck,
So true.
Look, we got a
So
lot
true.
of heroes coming in D. All right.
Okay, okay, you're right.
There's
We're
heroes that need a
pissing people
message
off.
received more than Sombra. That's what I'll say.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
what
right.
I'll say.
Let's bring out the hard hero. What is a difficult hero here?
A difficult hit. Venture, maybe I was thinking earlier because of. But then I don't know because I haven't.
I don't think Venture's that.
I mean, from what I've seen,
Using
I've
ability
watched some
gives you
Venture
shield,
players
like,
who are
it's-
so insanely bad at it. It makes me think this hero is hard. Like, what I think is
Yeah.
interesting is the top end potential of Venture is, I think, so high and like just the newbies are so bad. Like they're so bad. They don't
I
understand
think the
how
hero's
to.
not been out long enough for it to be.
Maybe that is
People
like
don't
the
understand
common
how to
knowledge
play it.
isn't there.
It's
Because
just
like if you
watch Jake's official
initiate,
guide.
if you initiate first on Venture, like if you initiate with Burrow and then your team follows it up, it's so powerful. But I mean, in the end, you have like all these escapes that makes it easier. The aim is pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I just love this hero. Like I don't know. I feel like it can't be D at least because the
No,
ability to
I
like
think it should be C.
mess
'Cause,
with
like,
objectives is
C
so
at the
strong and
minimum right
requires you
now.
to actually understand the game and
We
think
have
about how to
not
use
seen
your
the full
cooldowns.
potential of this hero. Like
Yeah.
hands down. The
I-
character is
yeah.
it has two mobilities. Also, one of the mobilities, you're invulnerable. You cannot be targeted whatsoever. You're under the fucking ground. You can burrow for like a million years and install the payload. But you also get shields on a lot of your abilities as well. I really do think this hero. We could be 1 year in the future. It could be like AS tier, and we just don't know
It's
it yet.
never gonna be
But,
S tier
like,
because the aim is so brain dead easy.
Yeah,
so,
I-
like,
I-
it's
I don't agree. I think her aim isn't important enough. Like, I think the
I just-
problem is
I
the
just don't
skill
think
of
we've
her is
seen too much of it.
understanding her rotations and her timings. It isn't
Yeah.
her aim and all that other stuff. And that's
Sure.
why, like, we there's a couple of them in top 500 in NA where like they just get it right, and they're really frustrating to deal with because
Yeah.
they understand their cycling so well, and like they know when you're when they can isolate you. But it's just like. It doesn't, when I lose to it, I don't go, wow, that was great, perfect, like timing and mechanics. They just understood the windows, which
felt
is a
bullshit.
skill, but isn't
it's like
super
Sombra.
difficult.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like Sombra, right? It's like C tier. It's just like
I don't know.
there's like if it was aim skill alone, it'd be D tier. But there is like there actually is quite a bit of I think nuance in terms of like it's what you're able to do a lot with the objective and with positioning that most heroes can't do. So there's kind of like Sombra. There's more options available to you. Makes it a little harder. But in the end,
We just haven't
execution
seen the
is not
full
that hard.
potential of the hero. I think it's B for now. I wouldn't put it as like soldier level fucking Junkrat Sombra. Hell fucking no. Like there's so
I
much
think
more to
Sombra
think
is
about.
actually quite a good comparison.
Yeah.
All right.
honestly.
So Venture in C or B?
Alright.
See,
I think B.
Venture
but
in-
you guys
okay.
want to see? Sure.
Yeah, sure. Venture in C. Why not? Also, I'm going to call out Tiger Blood in the chat, who said, I was iffy on the tier list until Sombra. I just want to hear what you were iffy about. Okay, I'm calling you out. How were you iffy on this list? I need to know.
all right, I want to throw some hands, guys. Time to throw some hands. Time to out with this nice guy stuff. All right, D tier. Let's see.
Mercy.
Mercy, Moira,
Mercy,
Lifeweaver.
Moira.
Big.
Orisa.
That's a big three. The
Orisa.
Mercy, Moira,
The big
Lifeweaver
three.
triple up in D tier.
Yep.
That's
Easy.
a big three. Those are the heroes that are like
Stunning.
for people who are new to the game, which is
Yeah.
cool. I think it's a good thing that they exist when they're in my games and I'm trying to make it into higher GM ranks on tank. I'm getting a little pissed. All right, I'm losing it.
You
Like
don't
tank them
need to
for a
do
brig
shit
player.
on these characters.
And then
bro. You just
Lifeweaver,
sit there.
Lifeweaver as well.
They all have their own individual niche of like, hey, like, because the people who like these heroes are going to defend them because they're going to be like, oh, this is really difficult. Like, Mercy Movement is very difficult when done, but like, the problem is
not.
it's not
1.5 second cooldown.
Okay, yeah, it's
Disagree.
not. My point is like it's not
Disagree.
crazy difficult, and then everything else you do isn't difficult at all, right? Like
Yeah.
that's I think the issue is like there is some level of difficulty, but like most other heroes, even in C, there's multiple levels of that, right? So I think it's just like they're definitely at the bottom.
think,
This
like, the
tier
only
is
hard
the
thing
can
on
you
Mercy
reach
is, like,
GM
rezzing
with
over
an
the wall or
N64
whatever.
controller? Like that. This is the category. Can you reach it there with an N64 controller? Yes. Then it belongs to D tier. Mercy, Moira, Lifeweaver, easy.
I just think Mercy and Moira, Lifeweaver, they're like Mercy and Lifeweaver. I don't know. I mean, Lifeweaver is like so simple. I think because there's a playstyle is just like. I mean, all three of these heroes. The only hard thing is like baiting your life, so people try to kill you, and then you juke them and you live, and they're. But like,
No one is doing that on any of these characters.
I mean, if you're like really high rank on these characters, you are definitely doing that. That's like the only thing you can do to contribute to the game. So somehow, if you're winning games, you are baiting attention. I promise you, if you are a Lifeweaver in high GM, you are baiting yourself because if you are not and you're only healing, sitting at the far back, you will not make it. I don't think you make it a GM on this character doing that. You're gonna need to like get tricky and juke people, and you got to put your life on the line. Like the good Mercy players do this. Like, but in the end, that is just basic how to play the game on every single hero. It's just that these heroes don't do anything else, so that's all they do. Every other hero can also bait their own life, like on Ana, hey, come kill me, but then I actually turn the fight and kill you, or I bait you into a bad position and get saved, whatever. So everyone can do it. It's just that because these heroes don't really have aim skill, that's like all they do. So it highlights a certain aspect of the game, which does exist. I want to be clear, but that aspect exists on every character, and these are the heroes who just only
Put Orisa down here as well. That
really.
character.
No,
I don't know
I
about
think
it.
she's
Yeah.
C.
I think C tier.
I
In the
think
end, she's a
No.
lot of skill shots. Like,
the javelin's important, the aim, like doing the
have
damage,
to
but
track
also
heads,
like
like-
how to cycle your abilities. Obviously,
Spam.
2 seasons ago, how do you cycle your abilities? Just don't press them one after the other. That was how you do
Yeah,
it. But
that
now
is true.
there's actually like the cooldowns is like when you press those abilities does really matter.
I think
mean,
Orisa's
maybe a
just
couple
you
of
have to
patches
track
ago.
the head, bro. Like to be good at the zero, you have to track the head and do damage on people's head,
Yeah.
and like that
Oh,
is hard
this-
enough
this
where
will
it's
suck.
not a D tier.
I'll put Maga in D.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just press cardiac overdrive. Just doesn't matter
I
anymore.
like-
I
what-
feel I
What is the
actually
hardest
disagree
thing to
with
do on this hero?
Is crit stomping.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
That is
like,
actually super relevant,
Yeah.
and I don't think that easy.
That's one thing.
The
out
crit
of the whole
stomp,
kit.
and I also think the cardiac overdrive is not like that
It's not as
free.
good as
Like
it
if
used
you're
to be,
playing against
to be
human
fair.
players who like will not just like feed into you while you're using the cardiac overdrive and like try to kill you while you're life stealing for 10 million, it only lasts 3 seconds.
yeah,
So I
it's
think
not
this
long
hero
anymore.
is like, this hero has to like find its time to go, or you lose, and your go has to be good. I don't know. In the end, it's like it's pretty simple. And,
Are
like
we
the ult is
talking
so
about
easy.
this like as an overall Overwatch level? Because if we're doing that, like surely Orisa is down there as well with fucking.
No, we're
D,
talking highest
because
level.
execution. No, but like patch wise, because before we were like,
no,
oh,
I'm ignoring the patch.
patch-wise, it
Ignore
doesn't
the
matter.
strength
No
and
patch,
weakness
yeah.
of the
yeah,
hero.
sure. Then fucking Malga definitely belongs in D tier. Then 100%.
Really,
It's only
I
3
just think
seconds.
the crit
but-
stomp and your decision making is actually, since it's such a one, it's like that's your big move, right? And if you mess it up or you have a bad run,
I
I
just
feel like
don't-
your fight is over.
Every other part of the kit is pretty easy, I'd say. Maybe aiming, I guess,
the,
with
the
left and
long
right
range
clicks and stuff,
tracking,
but-
I find the long range tracking relatively hard to be like lighting them on fire and then critting them from long range. Obviously, we were on top of the enemy tank. Okay, like I'm not,
You
not
know
arguing
what?
that that's hard, but
Sorry, you go, Johnny. I haven't heard.
I
you
would
speak
put
more.
Mauga in C2. I feel like you can also like Jake says on the opposite side of the coin. Like if you mess up these abilities, you're going to feed again, and like you're not going to help your team. And I feel like you actually have to get value out of these abilities. It's not as easy as it once was, you know, to get cardiac overdrive value and to not get punished by bad timing and stuff like that. So I think it's a C2. There is some skill to Mauga.
I feel like Mauga is just a way harder hero than Lifeweaver. Like, and like, there's no comparison how hard it is to play Mauga versus Lifeweaver for me, right? Like, you think about.
Sure, okay. Comparatively, yeah, Rissa.
That's why I mean
Mauga
I don't
versus
even know if I'll
Percy,
put like
then-
some of the other funny heroes in the D tier. I think this D tier has to be like, I think these 3 are like special D tier.
Okay,
Yeah.
hear me out though. Bastion D tier.
Okay, that I could get down with. Although Bastion,
I fuck with a Bastion.
I think Bastion
D
is
tier.
harder than these heroes. Still, I still think Bastion's harder than these heroes. Number
He
one,
is. Agreed.
you have
Timing
to
the
hit the
shift,
grenade to like
hitting
fight
the
off
nades.
flankers properly.
Yeah.
Turret form
Your
timing
hitbox
is really
is
critical.
so
if you mess
big,
it up, you
too.
will lose.
We're
These
comparing
like Mercy,
Moira to
Moira,
Bastion.
Lifeweaver have no relevant like cooldowns to manage.
Maybe I just have resentment for
Bastion
Bastion, so I
C.
want to put him in D tier. Maybe this is another Sombra like resentment moment. Like, you know,
You just
just
wanna
like
send a
fuck it, put him in D. Like,
Yeah. No, he
Obviously,
actually requires
turret
aim,
forming
the
and
other
using
thing.
it isn't that hard, but being in the right spot to turret form and like that you're not overextended and getting killed, but you're not so far back that you can't deal damage and you're
Some
using the
mechanical
cooldown.
skill.
You recognize when the enemy can't escape the turret form without giving up something important, and then you get a lot of value from it. So like the timing, that you have such a powerful button, but it has a long cooldown. You have to press the timing perfect. And in the end, the aim skill on the grenade is, I think, super important. Like if you hit the grenade on people long range or like hit a tracer direct with it is like such a game winning move. I don't know. And in the end, you have to track.
Sorry, Scott.
no, I honestly, that's the you know, I'm trying to
requires
ruin
aim.
this
I
I
tier list,
kind
but
of want to
I'm
put
here.
Reaper down in D tier though. I'm thinking about putting Reaper in D tier.
I agree in his current state. I think they could do some cool stuff that would make him skyrocket up this list of like give some more depth and nuance to him. But right now he literally is just shooty shotguns and then like Wraith out. Like you can do some cool stuff with the TP
Wraith out.
and the moving
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But for the most part, it really is just
there's
like
no
hide and
depth.
flank.
There's no depth there.
Yeah, like
Like I have played a bit of Reaper, and I'm pretty confident that like you just can't get that much better at like the character. Other than the
What about
only
the
thing that's
Reaper
there
G?
is like perfect critting the center of the crit box to get the maximum pellets crit. Like sure, that's like so if you one clicking the tracer is like okay, that's like the hard thing to do on the character. So maybe that is harder than anything you do on Mercy Fire Lifeweaver. But Reaper is like the DPS the most likely to consider. Maybe Reaper and Torb I could consider putting in D.
Dude, come on.
Even
Really?
Torb, I'm like, you have to
Oh.
place the turret. You
oh,
thought.
Jack's about to send some
dude.
hands for Torb.
Torb's at
Jack, where do you want
least
to put
fucking
Torb?
C,
Let's-
B,
where-
Yeah,
probably.
I mean,
Turret placement
Torb
is
B.
fucking hard.
Okay,
Hey,
you're
did you just say
capping.
turret
Torb
placement?
capping.
The
Turret
easiest
placement's
thing of
hard.
Torb.
Nah. How'd you get your
I mean,
turret
there's
not
a
to be killed?
It's
What
not.
about
It's
the left
not B
click?
tier, Jack. I'm gonna just.
What
I'm
about
gonna,
the left
I'm gonna
click?
just keep
What
it a
about
buck
the
with you.
firing
It is
Cheetos
not in
across
the
the
B
map?
tier.
Try be consistent with the Cheetos across the map.
I am.
Oh, you're
I
just
am.
shooting
I am so
spaghettios
much
from
better at
across the map,
diplomacy,
hoping
Jack.
for the best.
No, if you
Jack,
can't double
I'm
tap
drastically better than you at
Torb.
Torb, and I promise you
care.
it's not B tier.
Do not care. You hit E, that's difficult, bro. Have you seen the coon placement? That's difficult. You
You
got to
know-
know
oh my
trigonometry
God. It's-
you know
to
what's
get that
difficult?
shit
It
done.
is apparently
Getting a
difficult
12
because I
hammer
can't.
kill, you know?
I can't see a Torb ult without just like holding
That's
his left
high
click
skill.
and putting it all
That's
in
high
one
skill.
spot.
You getting a hammer kill as Torb? That's high skill. No one's gonna
Bro,
argue with
you
that.
just
It's
put
a melee
one
weapon.
spot of lava on all the power positions on the map, and then a few spots on the point. Whoa, crazy!
You need trigonometry for that shit. You gotta fucking aim that shit in the air. You gotta calculate the fucking arc as it comes down.
Oh yeah, I bet you did a lot of calculation on
I'm
Torb.
just saying.
And he
I got
has-
my calculator ready.
And one of the few heroes that have, fall off on their shots, right, Jack? You know, like
Yeah.
you really got to be
It's
aiming
fall off
upwards.
on the Cheetos, bro.
You're gonna get your Modern Warfare 4 like fucking scope out of here.
yeah,
Watch
exactly,
the fucking
yeah, yeah.
trajectory
You
dip.
just
You gotta
like
get the
find the
ATEX.
ang and
Yeah.
you spam Cheetos into it. Like it's
Rangefinder?
not hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
good luck
obviously
finding
if
the
you're
angle.
like close range 1v1ing, it's a little hard, but it ain't B tier. I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. This is a spam hero. It's a spam hero. Press E, shotgun the tank.
As is a
Oh
spam
wow,
hero.
I'm doing the best.
As is a spam hero. He's a spam hero too. You spam with hands, though, don't you? Yeah, and he's
Okay,
easy as
moving
fuck.
on. Put
Moving
Symmetra
on.
next to
Listen,
put
moving on.
Symmetra
Jack
next to
overruled.
Torbjorn.
Mods,
Symmetra
cancel
next to
list.
Torbjorn.
No. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay.
All right. Do we give Sim credit for the
No.
Sim TP stuff
Absolutely.
that
No.
you can do in
No,
professional
bro.
play?
Wait, why are you not giving Symmetra credit?
Because
You
Deal.
actually need a brain to use this hero.
It's interesting. I mean, because I don't think I've ever in my life seen this in ranked, like, so there's a question of, are we talking about competitive play? Because like, if you're talking about competitive play, I think Sim is actually pretty hard because it actually is quite strong. There's a lot of potential that we've seen the top teams do with like tricky TPs and like using Sim to play
Yeah, talk
certain
about
strategies
ranked,
that
so.
relies heavily on Sim. But then Sim's execution isn't that hard. It's just a matter of like, I guess it's like a knowledge thing. You just have to know, okay, where am I TPing in every situation? Where am I sim walling? And then in the end, I'm like brain dead left clicking people to death. And then the sim one tricks do the thing where they like TP bomb the backline. That is like brain dead terrible.
Yeah.
But I think like the TPing, I don't know, TPing your whole team around.
I think that's a team strategy
That's the thing. Maybe it's
though.
not Sim.
That's not an individual hero thing. Like, it's not hard to make that TP happen. It's hard to get the entire team to follow that strategy and work together. So I'm not going to give that credit to the Sim players.
I'd say C. I'd say C.
What do you have against
Fair
Sim
enough.
players?
I think C is fine.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry,
C
Backbone,
is
bro.
fine.
I appreciate you, but it's
Yeah,
it's
that's fair to say. In
actual,
the end,
like,
it's the team
competitive.
strat that is complicated, and it's not
Yeah.
the Sims
In esports,
execution.
it's
is
up
relative.
there, but
Yeah,
not in
it is
fucking
difficult,
ranked.
Yeah. Quickly,
Yeah,
want to say
no.
thank you to Sean for the $10 for the super chat.
Thank you,
Appreciate you, Sean.
Sean.
Thank you. Giving you all money to say as a hard stock diamond, Doom should be an A tier with ball. Well, sorry, bud. But thank you for the $10. We
a
appreciate you,
reasonable-
Sean.
it's a reasonable
They said in
criticism.
this, ability spam gets value at low ranks. We're not talking about low ranks. We're talking about how difficult it is to get to the hardest level and the highest level of these
But we
heroes, which
appreciate you,
do
Sean,
this.
nonetheless. We do. Thank you for the $10.
Oh yeah, we appreciate your $10.
I do think there's a decent argument that there's just no tank in S tier. Like, even I don't know. I don't even think Echo should be in S tier personally. But
We're getting a nice curve here, like a nice
Oh,
little,
why you
bell
say
yeah,
curve.
yeah.
Oh
We're
boy,
protecting the
we have a
bell
lot
curve.
of
All right,
tanks left
Ryan.
here.
Controversial
Ryan,
hero.
Johnny,
A tier.
Ryan. Where does Ryan go?
No, not
A
A.
tier. air
So
captain.
many tank players
you
fuck up
hold
this
a
hero.
shield.
No,
They
no.
can't adapt. They can't pick up the hero. They can't learn how to.
They can't adapt. Dude, there's 2 buttons on that hero. Like, what are you saying?
I feel like now that you can cancel the pin, Ryan is actually a lot easier. That was
Yes.
a change that made
Yeah.
Ryan
Yeah.
a lot easier from Overwatch 1.
And you have 2 5 strikes hit now, not just 1, bro. You have 2. You have 2
Johnny-
chances to miss.
Johnny went
all
through
I'm
the
saying is
gauntlet back
I
in the
played
days
Ryan
where
in some
when you
games and
missed,
I was
you fucking
dominating.
missed, and you were
Yeah.
going the distance.
And then you build shatter for the next fight immediately. But you know, pros and cons, pros and cons.
I
He's
think
probably a C.
I think C tier, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
How many people fuck up this hero who can't actually learn it? Who
That's
just
not what
don't
we're talking
have-
about. How
We're talking
hard is
about
it to get really good at
top-end
Reinhardt?
skill potential.
Yeah.
Top end skill, Ryan.
Top end
C.
skill potential.
The only hard, so the hard things about this hero, top end mechanics are like range maxing the hammer. I think that is not super hard, but it's hard enough to be like worth mentioning to get like perfect range max on the hammer, and then like timing for your double hit, the way you like turn, so you get the 2 hits back to back really fast to nuke people when they're about to die, so they mess up their skill timings. In the end, like being able to flash the shield is super important, and shatter is big play. I mean, I don't know. There's like a lot of playmaking potential. I feel like maybe I could be convinced of a B here, actually.
The
in
range
end.
is good for shatter. The recent buff, so that helps too, or recent. But
I feel like it's just there is a lot of like
B?
making pin plays.
Oh,
In the
bro.
end, although it's not as
B.
punishing as it used to be,
B.
that means you
What are you
also go
saying?
for it a lot more. And like the good Ryans do make a lot of pins, and that is
I'll go B for Johnny.
B.
No,
I'll
bro,
I'll back
B.
Johnny up. Let's
No,
let's
what
put
the
him in
fuck?
B.
What are you
genuinely,
saying?
let's get him
I do
up there,
think
you
this
know?
hero
Oh my
it is
God.
kind of like it's like a has like it's a Winston vibe, you know? It's like it
Yeah,
is
keep up the
relatively
hustle, buddy.
straightforward, but if you're a bot, it's gonna be really bad.
if you're a great Rhine, you will dominate your position.
But that's
Like, you will-
but that's because if you're a great Ryan, that's
Every
just
hero.
because you understand the windows, right? Like he kind of has the issue of like Winston, where it's like he doesn't have to aim. The only thing you aim is fire strikes, which like they're pretty big, right?
I do
like
think pinning is super
I agree.
important, and pinning is actually hard. Like in terms of it is like windows, but it's also like there's like a reading the enemy player or like anticipating them and like knowing what they want to do.
Yes.
Positionally,
Yes.
I mean, you do have to hit the fire strikes, and then I do think range maxing the hammer. I'm like including that because that is super important. Double hitting, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that properly. Like do the double hit with the hammer where the 2 hits come back to back. The way you turn the swing, like that stuff is like I don't know. That's like a weird mechanic to min max, but and you have to do it all the time. I think. Well, if you're assuming for this like super top end level, there are a lot of optimizations on Rhine that like Orisa doesn't really have like a weird techie optimization.
okay, so
I'm happy. I'm happy. Thank
I
you
wanna
to
go to
Jito
Roadhog.
and Adrian for the subs.
Roadhog.
Thank you, remember.
because
Maybe
I
remember.
think Roadhog has a shit ton of techs, and I think there's a lot of depth and nuance to this hero. But I fucking hate Roadhog, and I
You
feel
are
like it would be
smoking
funnier
meth
to see the
right
Roadhog
now.
players be upset about this tier list, so I kind of
Put him in
want to
D.
put him in C.
Put him in D.
I think it's like a C or a B. It's a
No.
question. I do think having seen Dirt,
This
what he
is-
does on the hog, the way he gets the pull to come closer to him by doing this crazy spin every
There's a
single time
lot
he
of
hooks.
tech, yeah.
And then you
there's-
could do like this crazy tech to like pull people further, like pull them around corners and stuff that they're not supposed to. The hook would break if you don't do the tech.
He turned his mouse. Wow.
Well,
No,
yeah,
you should see,
consistency
dude.
in the
You should
shotgun,
see.
no, there's some people
You should
are
see the
fucking
stuff
nasty
people
on
do.
it,
Like
yeah.
there is crazy on this hero. So it made me believe like, okay, there is actually a lot of skill. I can't do that stuff. I just hook people and shoot them, but he's like getting the kill every time on the squishy, which is like not supposed to happen anymore, right? But the execution is just if you do like a perfect, I don't even know how it works, frankly, the hook turn thing. So it's complicated enough with the hook, and now with the trap and everything. I mean, I don't know.
D.
Maybe C is okay, but
C.
I do think there's more than meets the eye with this hero.
Sure, but he's still very one-dimensional in what he does.
Yeah,
It's not like
but
this
fuck
here.
off,
He
so
got his
put him in C.
Junkrat buddy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got Tord in there.
Custis convinced me.
It's a good tier for Roadhog. I like it. All right, we got 4
Zarya.
tanks left.
Okay, I think Zarya is not that difficult. I think there's a lot of like you can be powerful, but I think people overvaluate how hard it is to play Zarya. I think it's just like, yeah, the bubble timings, using it with your teammates, synergizing, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, you're just a big DPS that's just fucking beaming people. Like I don't know. Maybe I could be convinced by like Jake.
The hardest
but-
part-
Right
is the
clicking
dragon.
is relatively hard on Zarya. Like ammo management on
management,
Zarya.
yeah.
If you're like full on left clicking when it's like the diva, okay, that is super easy, right? But to like fight squishies mid range with like by bouncing them with the right clicks over and over again, and like I do think the bubbles are now a little bit harder than they used to be because you can like put both of them on allies or both of them on yourself, so there's like more range of decision. And then grab is like pretty straightforward, but also a lot of stuff that saves people from grab, or you like. There's a lot of maybe this is like that's just because I play Zarya, so I'm biased, but like sometimes I feel like it's super important that you can never grab the main group. You have to take a solo kill grab on the Cassidy's flanking. Like that's critical that you do that. If you grab the main group, they will all save each other support ults, and you'll lose. So like, but in the end, that's such a niche thing. I don't know.
Like, and is that
It's
really
like a
that
B or
high
a
skill?
C. It's like a B or a C in the end.
He's
Maybe
probably
it is a C. Maybe it's just a C.
Yeah.
It's
think
not
it's
that
fine.
much crazier than like Mauga stomping.
Like,
on
what's the
people.
hardest Zarya tech that's out there, and like how difficult is that to do? Right? It's like it's a lot of just like game knowledge and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah,
I don't think it's like revolutionary, like or anything
In the
like
end,
that.
the only hard thing on Zarya is like is managing your ammo so that you have like you're making the right decisions about right clicking, and then you're hitting the right clicks. I think that's the biggest thing that differentiates good Zarya players. They're directing you with right clicks. It's like a game changer for how strong the hero is at like nuking you, versus just left clicking only. All right, Sigma. I feel
think
like at
Sigma's
least
quite
B.
high.
At
Yeah.
least B.
At least
I
B,
actually,
yeah.
Easily.
I
'Cause
think
the
I want
aim
to put him in
skill on
A.
Sigma
I
is
think there's a
kinda
lot
fucky.
of value you can get with this hero.
Okay,
Because
okay,
you
wait. I just
can
thought.
one-shot people now with the rock combo.
Yeah.
Like you can one-shot squishies now. Like but getting that off consistently is like.
I mean, and
actually
hitting the
really
rock
cool.
is not
Hitting the
super
rock is
hard,
fucking-
but like at medium range,
and-
it's like a skill.
I think it's worth keeping in mind. Most of the time, you see Sigma it is in the mirror, and like the Sigma mirror is just so fucking tricky with the enemy Sigma hitting the rocks.
Yeah,
and,
there's
like,
so
hitting the
much
flux and,
There's a lot to it, yeah,
Being
to
able to
grab.
stun the
so
enemy
much to
cooldowns.
think
Because
about,
if you
man.
like get through his shield and he decides to rock, but you already rocked, you rock him before he gets
Yeah.
his off. It's like you win, or you
Yeah.
you rock. If you cancel either of the Sigma skills with a rock, it's like such a big deal.
I think he's
or the
an A,
ult.
genuinely.
I also think the slamming people on your head to counter Baptiste
That's
is like
crazy
one of the
take.
hardest things in the
That's
game.
insane.
But that
Yeah.
the good players do more and more often nowadays, and I think it's like a legitimate optimization.
I think there's difficulty in every single ability in Sig's kit.
Yeah.
Shield
And the aim-
management.
in the end, I think Sigma is, besides Doomfist, the most aim intensive tank.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you need to
easily.
just hit the fucking left click over and over and over again. Like
I didn't
that's
say
It does
A.
what makes the
so
hero
much
good.
damage. A, yeah, definitely. A.
Yeah, I think it's A.
A for sure.
Okay. So
yeah, I'm a little. The positioning is very easy on Sigma, so I
That is a
feel
good
like
point.
that it does take. Like for me, the Winston's positioning is so much harder than Sigma. Like in the end, Sigma has no mobility. So you just like walk with your guys and like, okay, I'm here, I'm shooting you. You know, like, which it's sort of like that's a conundrum with Overwatch, right? There's like such different types of skill. It's very hard to compare them one to one. So I don't know. I'm fine with A. I'm fine with B.
I'm down to go A. Let's just throw him in there.
So
Okay,
Sig
so
some love.
my hot take is I like Junker Queen a lot, and I think she should be B, but something in my heart of hearts wants to put her in A because I think there's so much skill expression with everything that you do on like the push and pull because you have such a limited health pool, and then like hitting the jagged blades, like playing around those cooldowns, your shotgun, you can do so much damage with shotgun. Like a part of me wants to put it in A, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can talk me off this ledge because
I'm
I feels
so
like it should be
JQ
B.
pilled. I'm down for that because JQ is probably maybe JQ like next to Sigma in terms of aim, like how critical it is. You just need to hit shots in this hero. Like this hero is just like it's a DPS in a way. Like it's or rather, its value on tank is that I'm gonna kill you if you don't
Yeah.
respect me, right?
Yeah.
Versus like I'm gonna press my skills on you.
I think
And
the
there's so
value
many
you
things
can
that
get from
cancel
Jagged
the
Blade
axe.
is just fucked. Like the skill setting on the blade is just insane. I think
Yeah,
it's-
that's true. And the jagged blade, you just cycling it every time you hit it is like
yeah,
not
and like
necessarily
pulling,
game winning, but it's so good.
Yeah, well, it can be. Like if you hit a good one, you just pull some motherfucker.
Yeah,
in. Like,
yeah,
it's,
sometimes
it's
it's
tough,
tough
and
to
it's
kill
tough to
and
hit
spam
too. Like especially the like mid to long range ones are like fucked. If you hit one of those, like it's insane. I think this hero, I don't know about. Well, actually, no. I'd say A. Like looking at the other tanks.
Yeah,
tank,
yeah.
Singular B in Rhine. Oh, Diva. Sorry, Diva's there too. But I'd say A actually.
Yeah, in the end, there's a lot of like aim skill factor in this list,
Yeah.
and I do think
And
because
she's
of that,
so
Queen is
like
high.
she has no armor. Like she's barely running around with like her hitbox is kind of small compared to like Ryan and shit like that. But like she's so much more vulnerable to everything that the skill required to play at like that kind of level. It's easy than harder than Diva, harder than Ryan for sure. Hey,
I think because she's not tanky as well. Like I think that's like a big
Yeah,
limitation of
yeah,
the
if
she
you
hero.
has
have
the
good
shout, and that's
movement,
it.
she becomes tanky because she has like she's just skinny and you dodge stuff, but that requires
Right.
good movement. So it's like more emphasis on your skill.
I think
Solomon?
I think before as Sully's alive, what do we think
Yeah,
of Ram?
JQ.
Junker Queen
JQ
A.
and A tier, and
I
then
think
Ram
B.
much,
Like I think it's just around Reinhardt, right? Like similar kind of tech.
I think Ram
You
is
think Ram
a lot
is as
easier.
difficult as
Johnny
Ryan?
hates Ram, by the way.
I
Really?
hate Ram.
Okay.
I hate Ram.
I think
defend
Ram
it.
is
Defend
like
your
C
defend
tier.
your take.
I just think, well, okay, is it actually a difficult hero? That's besides my hatred for this hero.
You just
But-
get gapped by Ram because it's
I
so
hate
good
the
against
design.
Ryan.
Is it difficult? Maybe. One could make the argument.
All right,
but
Johnny,
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
blow
such
your
a lame
I'm gonna
hero.
blow your mind. Ryan versus Ram is just a skill matchup. That's a 50-50 matchup. Ryan can easily win if he's better.
Yeah.
I think it's a boring hero.
Okay, it is boring. It is boring because when I've been playing Ram, my win rate's crazy on Ram, and I realize it's because I don't know if other players are. What I know is correct, and I'm willing to do is press my shift and block for 8 seconds. I'm willing to do that if that's what the situation
Jack and I
demands.
had a game yesterday, I think, where we were playing Hollywood. I actually don't know if you were in this game, but I dropped a window on the cart on Hollywood second point as you're going through like
Oh
the
no!
arch.
We were just shooting at him. We
there
were just
were
fucking
four of us
shooting.
shooting through this fucking
It was
window at this
fucked.
Ram. I'm like, he's not dying.
It was
Why
so
is he not
stupid.
dying? Like, what the fuck is
There
happening?
were four of us shooting at him, and like on this fucking corner, all of us looking, and he just didn't die. And
He
That
gets
was
stunned.
bad.
He
Armor
gets stunned and he'll die, or you
Yeah.
need someone behind him.
yeah,
but
the
I
armor
mean-
with the block is just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
So if you block and you're getting heal tanked, and I mean, I don't know. The hero feels pretty forgiving to play though. In the end, like, and like honestly, I mean, yeah, like you got to hit all like. It's satisfying when you go in and you hit all your punches, but then again, it's not that hard. The only
hard,
hard
yeah.
thing is that like you're like Wing all the way into the enemy backline, and if you mess up, you're gonna die. But if you don't mess up, you're hitting this big ass punch. It's like pretty easy to hit. So I don't know. You can slow people and stuff, and then yeah, I don't know. This hero can't be that high. I think it has to be C.
I'm down to put it in C.
Let's
Yeah, fuck it.
go.
See,
But there you go.
I claim that a victory.
A lot of
All right.
tanks in C tier.
Do we reevaluate anything?
Looking over, I think so. All right, convince me that Echo should be an S tier.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm down to put Echo and Doom down if people are passionate about it.
Ooh.
I do think Tracer, Lucio, Genji is like
100%.
a special, like the same way that Mercy, Lifeweaver, and Moira are at the bottom. I think Tracer, Lucio, Genji are like kind of special at the top. Like these are the heroes that make Overwatch crazy. I mean, and Echo is like still hard, and like yeah, you have to copy. And like the really hard thing is you have to, if you can actually play all the heroes when you copy, it's like a big deal. But that, which is like a hard, again, another type of skill is hard to quantify, is like your skill on all the other characters that matters on Echo for some reason because you can become them. But in the end, Echo is not nearly as punishing as Tracer and Genji.
Yeah.
in terms of-
Yeah, it's hard,
execution.
but is it as hard? I think that's a good kind of question. Like you're vulnerable. The movement for, well, if you're talking pro players, I mean, you're vulnerable. There's advanced movement. Get value from beam from close range while not dying.
and then
you
like
got
hitting
copy.
big headshots with the left
I
click.
mean,
But
the-
in the
the only
end,
reason-
it's not.
the
like-
only reason why I have him in S is the ult. Like,
Yeah.
Because you
But I
need to
don't
be
think
able
the
to
ult
have
is
a
that hard.
fundamental
Like, yeah, I
understanding
guess
of-
you can talk like the perfect skill ceiling of being able to play every hero at the highest level. Like,
I
yeah,
thought
but
that's
like,
what we were talking about. Fucking
yeah,
high
but
level shit.
I just that just feels disingenuous because she turns into other heroes,
It's
right?
like, oh, I have all the. I can become
Does-
Tracer and then
does
play
that
Tracer.
make
But
does that make Echo harder than Tracer? Like, I think the logic I'm going with is similar to Jake's, where I'm like, it just feels like Tracer, Genji, and Lucio are like, it feels weird to put them in the same tier as those heroes because they are really like the quintessential, like the hardest heroes in Overwatch. So putting them in there just doesn't
Right.
feel right. I'd rather just put them in A tier and then just like not.
it's like
worry
this.
about
If Winston were primaling 24/7, he would be an S tier.
yeah.
Like if that was how Winston worked, you know what I mean? Was like you're always using
Jake's
a
so
primal.
primal pilled. It's fucking crazy.
All right. Watch Fearless do a primal, and then just tell me that's normal. Tell me. Watch Fearless juggle lip to the spawn across Hollywood, and tell me that's not the hardest thing. I mean, that's like the only genuinely the perfect primal juggling. I'm trying to think. I think that might be the only thing in the game that after all these years, I'm like been spamming Winston for a few days, and I'm like sort of getting a little bit better at it. There's no other tech in the game that I'm like that feels unreachable besides primal. I think like every other tech I can do. I don't think there's any. Maybe the hog techs. I haven't even really tried those. I don't. Maybe they'd be hard, but come on, primal is like heinous. If you fuck up, you just feed 1,000 HP to the enemy team. It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw Infected retweet like a disgusting Hollywood Primal clip like a couple months ago, and it was just like blow your mind, just like juggling people in the air, perfect distance while getting like multiple taps and jump
Because
damage.
it's
and
only
just-
the primal, same reason as Echo. The super high skill thing is your ultimate, which matters, but it's not like the bread and butter of the character in the end, which is just like how you play on Echo and farm your ult faster. And then sometimes on Echo, your ult is like copy Ana and nade the whole enemy team. Wow, that was so hard. I'm like above her head, you know, like like if you're better at Ana and you use the skills perfectly and hit your sleeve, you might get a nano off. But in the end, that's just it's only a part of the kit. And so I think Echo should be out of S tier.
Yeah.
As much as I love Echo,
All
I'm
right,
a big Echo
I'm down.
fan.
Echo, I think
Moving
Doom goes
down.
down as well.
I think agree. Now,
Okay,
looking at this list, I'm like
Yeah.
Doom and Winston. I mean, they're such different types of skill. It's hard to compare, but I don't know. Doom, Ball,
agree.
Winston are all.
I think
So
Doom's
moving
ult
Doom
is
down
like
or
not a
keeping him?
difficult thing to do.
Yeah. There's
I mean,
no way.
Doom's all just sucks. So it's
Yeah,
doesn't really
so
matter
it's
what
like
you do with
when
it.
you compare that to other heroes, like in this list, like the reason that Sojin and fucking Winston are in this list is because their ultimates are like so. The ceiling that you can get on those ultimates is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
A lot of people are asking us where we would rank Juno, but we haven't had a lot of time playing Juno, and it's really difficult.
Bro, I
So
played her in training.
Juno seems really easy to me.
She doesn't seem super difficult, no.
She seems
lot
like
of
a
her
C tier
shit
hero.
is-
She seems like the hero. The difficulty from the hero is going to come from her positioning more than anything else. Like,
But,
but
like,
I
you have
but-
a hard, you have such a ridiculous escape. I don't think this hero might be D tier, honestly, in terms of how hard it is. Maybe
No,
it is more aim. But
I think there's a lot of value you can get out, but like her damage potential is like not super high. Like the reason we have Baptiste in A is because his damage potential is so high. I don't think her damage potential is that high with the fall off. I think she's going to spend a lot of time just shooting teammates, just throwing rings. I think she's B, probably C tier at least from my messing around
I
with it
think
right now.
C. I don't think that hero is very high skill, honestly.
5 tanks in A. You love to see it. Amazing.
mean,
Yeah.
The high mobility tanks, the highest mobility tanks, Doom, Ball, Winston, I think they're hard by virtue of mobility being a hard thing for people to use. Like
Yeah.
there's so many, you could be so many places on the map using your mobility. Where do you choose to be is like a very complex decision. And then Queen and Sig are just like there for aim skill, basically.
And they have like cooldown rotation and stuff like that as well. So like they do what the heroes in C tier do, but they have aim skill, right? Like
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. That is a Plat Chat hero difficulty tier list. All complete. All done. Sounds good. All right,
there's
guys.
not a single support hero in C tier. That's kind of interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I
kind of
guess
a
it's
big,
not really.
there's kind of a big
Interesting,
fall
yeah.
off from like Kiri, Brig, Ilari. There's a big fall off.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to
by
say.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have for today. If you're interested in more Overwatch content, then you're literally spoiled today, because today Uncoachable also released like a 4-hour episode with Jake, where they yapped for like
Dude,
almost
Jake's
4 hours.
looking into my soul with this picture. What the fuck?
No way. No way.
Delete that one. That's
That is-
fucked up.
that is
That's
hilarious.
fucked
Dude,
up.
Jake, you gotta
With his
put that
arms
as like your Twitter
Holy
profile picture, just
shit.
like.
Looking tough.
That guy, look at that.
You guys look tough as hell.
What is happening? Oh my
tough.
god.
He's about to
Is that the
stomach some
Foo
fucking
Fighters tour
insurance, bro.
t-shirt? You're damn right it is, because I saw them on
Yes.
Friday and it was awesome.
Was
That
it good?
great.
Dude,
Dude, the energy was crazy.
One of
They
my
are rock
favorite
stars.
concerts of all
True
time,
rock
yeah.
stars, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, bought a little shirt and there's like the tour thing on the back. So yeah, good call. There you go. There's my episode with Scott. I went to his house. We interviewed him for a couple of hours talking about his career. There were cats. You
Yeah,
can
tons of
go-
cat content.
Wait,
Hey,
you distracted
yo!
some. Hey, the
algorithm,
Yeah,
the
keep it there.
algorithm.
Keep it there.
Can you rewind or go back? Are there any cats around?
At 2 minutes in, I think. Wait, there's
2 minutes.
like 2:30. Yeah, eye content. You see it?
There you
Boom.
go. There's
The
cats.
flower looks
She's got a little
crazy.
flower going right now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
So you got that, and you got the
Oh,
uncoachable
shit.
guys talking with Jake
4
for 4
hours.
hours. So you're spoiled. Literally 8 hours of content for
So
you
much content.
on this Tuesday. So enjoy that. All right, we'll see if that episode happens with that role. We'll chat about OWCS Korea. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll don't. I don't know. We're in different parts of the world, so scheduling is hard, I guess. There's groups coming up this weekend for OWCS and AU. I won't be there, but some of you guys will be.
I will.
So, yeah, enjoy that.
Me
and
and
Joel's
Scott
casting.
casting this weekend.
Jake, you streaming or anything? What are you up to?
I'm just chilling. I've been playing some Dota. Getting high rank in Dota. I'll probably
Jake's
stream.
just been playing Winston, playing Dota.
I've been
You
playing
two
little,
things.
little tank and Overwatch. Maybe I'll stream. Maybe I'll stream the tank grind today. Maybe I'll kick it off.
All
Hey
right.
Jack, you want to end some of Jake's games? It's-
Hell
You
yeah,
guys
I'm
can
down,
try,
baby.
bro.
Let's
You can't
fucking
stop
go.
me. My strength is look. I play with
Put
the
him on the
Mercier and
avoid
Life
list.
Weaver on my team every single game. So what you guys think is inting is it'll be just fine for me.
That's perfect.
All right. Thank you for this episode of Plat Chat, guys. I was going to say it's 2:35 or something, but I can't remember what it is. Brent's Player of the Week? I don't know who is Brent's Player of the Week. Reed Jong for coming back, 32
Yeah,
years old.
Jay-Hong, he's
Yeah,
back.
Jay-Hong,
There you
man.
go.
You gotta give
For
it.
better or worse.
Shout out to the boys coming in.
Old Ocean. Oh, wow.
In the team's hour of need.
It was a ride of some sort. So I can't believe, by the way, it was so funny watching those games. And it's like Faith, and you're like, oh, Faith, really respectable main support, great. And then like Reiji Hong, it's like, how did Faith end up next to Reiji Hong in 2024? But it's good fun. Anyways, the games were good. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you here next time on Plat Chat.